Alright guys, back here on the 2000 four-door Blazer. That last video, I was giving you some, showing you some of the problems there on getting this here fuel neck out. I finally got it all out of there, guys. Just wanted to go over a few things here on putting the other one back in. It's kind of a job to get this back in there, guys. So what I did, if you check my last video or that other video out, guys, on tearing this apart, when I had this piece here laying out on the ground, what I had to do is take it apart right here before I put it up in here, and then I put this piece up in there first, this piece here, and then I put this piece in. And up here, guys, go ahead and put your hose clamps on there and go ahead and tighten them down, because you'll have a hard time getting to them. This one wouldn't be too bad, but that one there going to be a bear to get to. So I went ahead and put those together. And then also, guys, I was able to save my old hose. You can see it's got a crack here. I thought I cut all the way through that, but when I got to inspecting that, I did not cut all the way through that hose. So I got pretty lucky on being able to use this old hose, guys. If I was to do this job again, guys, I would order this pipe or this rubber hose right here off of GM, from a GM dealer, or off the internet if you can find one on the internet. Go ahead and order one. That last video I picked up a rubber hose from Napa. He gave me the wrong size, and that's what I was going to go. I was going to go back in town and get that, go with the 2-inch. But since I was able to save this, this is much better, because it's got a little bit of a bend right here, guys, on this hose. And when I was talking to the guy at Napa, he said that the hose that he sold me, he said you can't bend that, or you won't, your gas won't be able to get down in there correctly. But I don't know if one of those hoses from Napa will work or not, guys. I mean, that would be your decision if you want to try that or not, to put the one from Napa on there. I just got lucky. I didn't cut all the way through that hose, so I'll be okay. But I don't know if the one from Napa will work on that or not, the 2-inch. And make sure you get the 2-inch too, guys. That guy sold me a 2 1/4, which was way too big for that. And this hose here, now that other hose, if you watch my other video there, the guy gave me a red heater hose. I couldn't get that red heater hose on there, guys. It just would not go. So I found this heater hose, radiator heater hose, from a piece I had laying around here, which is the black one, which is 5/8. And I was able to get it on there, but it really fit tight around that. There's a little lip there on that gas tank, and then also there's a lip on this here piece right here. That really fit tight on there, but I was able to get the 5/8 hose, the black hose, on there. The red hose that Napa sold me, I could not get that to go on there for nothing. So I just wanted to let some people know on that. If you get that red hose, the red 5/8 from Napa, you might have an issue with it as well. You might want to go ahead and just order the correct one from GM before you start this job, because if you think you're gonna, find that hose, you're gonna have an extremely hard time. Because I couldn't find it nowhere. Like I said, would have to do some more research on probably a GM order part only, from what I was telling, from what I could find on the internet when I was trying to find this hose. But so that's something you want to keep in mind, guys. You want to make sure you go ahead and get that hose, because more than likely you're going to have to cut all the way through that to get that off. I just got lucky enough. I actually didn't cut all the way through there, so I kind of lucked out on that. But and once you, the other thing is, guys, that bolt, or that bolt up in there, you see that or not? That bolt is at an angle, guys, so that makes it even harder yet. And I was able to get up in there with this here. I had to go over top of that with my little 1/4-inch drive, and I was able to get in there to that bolt. The problem you're going to have, guys, is getting the bolt back up in there. And it was a real pain, because see, you can't get your whole hand up in there. If you got big hands or big fingers, you're probably not going to be able to get that bolt back in there at all. Because I had a really hard time, and I don't have real big hands, but I mean, it's really hard to get that bolt back in there, guys. And what I was going to do, if I couldn't get that bolt to go back in there after I got it out, I was just going to probably take a strap, a tie strap, go through here and wrap it around here somewhere to strap that so it's not moving around. I mean, that's one way you could do it, versus trying to get that bolt back in there, because like I said, that bolt, you're going to have some problem with that bolt. That's probably one of the biggest problems I had, was that bolt right there. Getting that bolt, because I had to put that bolt between my two fingers and just kind of work it in there and try to get it started. That was another big issue, is trying to get it started. This thing was moving around, and you want to make sure you got everything. You don't tighten your clamps or anything, except for these two clamps up here. Just leave everything loose until you get that, if you're going to put that bolt back in there, so you can move this around to get that bolt in there, because it's really hard to get it up in there. And then once you get that, guys, you put this here, you'll have your piece here, and just bring it over. And the other thing on this is, when you put this back together right here, you want both these hoses lined up at the same time. Because there was one time I had this hose here, the bigger hose, about a 1/4 way on this, and then I couldn't get this hose on there. So then I had to take this back off, and then line both hoses up, and then shove them together. You had to kind of fight with it a little bit to work them, to get them back on there. And once you get them on there, then you'll be all right. And then make sure you got your, when you put your clamp on there, you want to be able to get to your screw here to clamp them down. You don't want that clamp up here on top like the original GM one. If you watch my other video, they had the clamp setting up in here, so you couldn't get to it. You could get to it if you used a little wrench. I think it was an 8mm wrench. I ended up working it up in there and getting it off of the wrench, the old clamps right there. But a real pain there, guys. The best way I ended up doing that, I think, was in that other video, I ended up cutting this hose. I ended up cutting the hoses here on the old one to get that thing out of there, because it was a real pain getting it up out of there too, guys. And then out here on this, on this here, you'll have to put this your plastic piece in. Start that with just put one bolt in there. And then also, guys, before you put this up in there, take your old bolt if you're going to use the old bolt that goes in that metal, the metal flange here on this here filler neck, go ahead and run them bolts through them holes on that metal flange, because they were extremely tight, and this was actually cutting the threads. The threads were must have been a little different size there, or whatever however they cut that at the factory when they made this. These here bolts, the original bolts, were fitting extremely tight. In fact, I thought I was going to break one of them off, trying to get the holes threaded back into those into the flange here. So you're going to want to do that if you use your old bolts before you put this back in there, and then you have to put this plastic piece. You'll have to put that on down here on the ground and lift it up, put it up in there, and then just keep everything loose. And you can see what happened here. I ended up having to use a bolt because I broke one of those when I was taking that apart, guys. I broke the head of that star bit, broke right off because it's all rusted up in this piece here. And I finally got that piece out of there, but I had another thing like this with a bolt, with that bolt like I got in there now. So I went ahead and just used my bolt here for to help hold that holds this plastic piece in here. And then you just want to go ahead and, once you get everything in there, guys, then you just go through, and then I'll just go through everything and start tightening stuff up. So yeah, I wanted to let some people know on that. That's, I mean, it's not impossible to do, but and also, guys, it would be a lot better if you got a lift. That would make the job a lot easier doing if you had a lift versus laying down on the ground, down on the floor, trying to get all that stuff put back in there. So if you got a lift, that'd be a way better way to go. But you can do it on laying on the ground. But like I said, it's plan on spending a good full day. I would say half a day to full day on doing this job. And then also, guys, I had to remove this piece here. That piece there, guys, it goes up in here like this. So you got a little 13 millimeter bolt that goes in there, and I had to remove that because otherwise I would have never got this thing out of here. So gonna want to take that piece out. So that way you got some working room here, because you're going to have to fight with that thing to get, I had to do a lot of fighting to get that piece in there, or get the old one out. It's actually harder to get the old one out than it was to put this new one in. But so anyways, guys, I thought I'd throw that out there, and then I got to put this this ground strap. I don't even know where the old one, the old one here, I think the strap was completely broken off of it. Oh yeah, see, here's the old strap. It wasn't even hooked to anything, so I'm not sure where they had the old one hooked to, but I'll probably end up just grounding it right to the frame there somewhere. I'll clean that off real good with a wire brush, and then go ahead and use a self tapper or something to put that ground strap on there. But so yeah, I wanted to throw that out there, guys. If you're going to do that job, and what I can't figure out too, guys, is when you order these fill necks, they don't come with the rubber hose. I just don't understand why they don't give you the rubber hose with the fill neck, and it'd make the job so much easier trying to find that fill neck if they already had it all in one piece. But it don't come that way. You'll have to find that hose off, either get it from a dealer, or maybe if you do a lot of research, you'll find it on the internet somewhere, but I couldn't find one. None of the auto parts store around me had that. The one for the original. It's got the original bend to it. Like I said, I think I did read somewhere on the internet where another guy used the Napa hose and was able to get it on there. And you want to cut that at about 12 inches. 12 inches is the perfect size to get that up in there. If you're going to go with the Napa hose, like I said, I didn't. I was lucky on mine. I was able to save the old one. So, like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to get that to bend. Because, like I said, down there by the tank, that's got a little bit of a bend to it. And these don't really bend very good. So, you may be able to get that to work. And it might not. I don't really know on that. You just have to try to figure out which way you want to go with that hose. Because that hose is a real pain finding that hose anywhere, and I don't understand why. I mean, I've had no problem finding these filler necks, the whole piece, but finding the hose that goes down to that plastic tank there, none of my auto parts stores around me had anything like that. So, anyways, guys, I thought I'd throw that out there for you. Said it's the job that can be done, but it can be a very frustrating job to get that done. So I guess that'll wrap this one up there, guys, on the second video there on this here job of getting this filler neck, getting the gas filler neck put back in there and taking it out and putting it back in there, guys. So thanks for checking out the video there, guys, and we'll definitely be doing some more.